Thank you for joining us for today's CONNECTpreneur Rocket Pitch. CONNECTpreneur is a global community. We have over 30,000 investors, CEOs, entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professional service providers from around the world joining us. And over the past 13 years, we have hosted over 100 in-person and virtual pitch events, CONNECTpreneur forums. We've had over 1,500 companies present. Half of them have raised money through investors that they've met through our platform. So welcome. I think we're going to have a great event today. We have 9 awesome presenters. I do want to mention that our investor community includes over 4,000 accredited private investors, angels, and family offices who have attended our events in the past and who are interested in investing in awesome deals that they'll meet through our platform. So the bottom line is, if you're raising capital now or in the near future, let's talk about how CONNECTpreneur and our community may be able to help you. Hopefully by now you have already downloaded the program book for today. The program book has a list of all of our sponsors and our executive summaries for our 9 presenting companies today, as well as a list of all of the RSVPs as of yesterday. If you haven't downloaded it yet, don't worry, because our team will post the link to the program book right into the chat. Speaking of sponsors, I want to thank them because they're the ones that make this event possible. And we'll put up our first sponsor poll so that if you have any business needs with which our sponsors can assist you, please answer the poll questions and they'll get back to you. This is a confidential poll, as all of our polls are. But I do want to shout out our sponsors by name. We have Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. We'll be hearing from Sarah Clasper momentarily. Modus Create, AEG, the Association for Enterprise Growth, Prince William County, Virginia, Economic Development, the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the Maryland Tech Council Venture Mentoring Services, Refraction, which is the top co-working community in Washington, D.C. region. It's based in Tyson's Corner, where we're located. I want to thank Startup Grind and the Entrepreneurs Organization, that's EO. The Frederick Innovative Technology Center, FITCI, Keiretsu Forum, global group of angel investors, I think the largest angel investor group in the world. I want to thank Blue Venture Investors, the Dingman Center Angels, the Citrine Angels, the MIT Alumni Angels, the New Jersey Angels, and also the Georgetown University Entrepreneurship Initiative, the Wharton DC Innovation Summit, Founder Institute, Ryan and Wetmore, Enterprise Transformation Services, or Enterprise Transformation Solutions, rather, and the Monty Jade Science and Technology Association. Thank you guys for all of your awesome support over the years. We cannot do these events without you. Also, program note, we have a bunch of virtual and in-person events coming up. We have private investor-only fundraising meetings, and I think we have 1 masterclass scheduled in the next 30 days or so. But our in-person CONNECTpreneur forums, we have 2 coming up that I want to talk about. One is September 19th in Washington, D.C. in the morning, and the next one after that is October 8th in the morning in Baltimore. We also have the virtual rocket pitch events like this event. We are skipping September, but we will have our events October, November, and December. So stay tuned for that. All of our event information is listed or will be listed on our website, connectpreneur.org. And again, if you're interested in sponsoring, presenting, or speaking, let Skylar, who's our community manager, know, and we'll get the information to you. We are doing investor polls. We have 9 presenters. We're going to do 1 poll per presenter. So after each presenter goes, we're going to put up a poll. Those are for investors only. So if you're not an investor, please do not answer the poll. You can just hit the red dot and X out. And I know that Sky will cover that in a bit when I introduce her. Just another thing, we're going to do breakout rooms as we usually do. Each of our 9 presenters will host their own breakout room. We are not going to open up the breakout rooms until after the final presenter and final poll is done, and then we'll open up that breakout room for as long as it takes. Sometimes 30, 45 minutes or whatever. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining us. And turn things over to our MC today, Skylar Rallison. She is our CONNECTpreneur Community Manager. Welcome, Sky.
Thank you, Tian. It's good to see everyone here again. I know Tian covered a lot of the stuff that we'll be doing today. I just want to add a note to remember to save the chat. So if everyone can save their own chat, that would be awesome so that you can get all your private messages. Feel free to do that, and feel free to use the chat to network. Just please be respectful when using the chat and try not to overload it with information. Next, I am going to introduce Sarah Clasper, and like Tian mentioned, we will be having an investor poll after each presenter. Please note that these are for direct investors only, not anyone selling services or any other matter. They are only for direct investors to answer these polls. So if you are not a direct investor, please click the red X and do not answer the poll unless you are directly investing. So with that, I am going to introduce Sarah. So to introduce our presenters, I would like to introduce longtime CONNECTpreneur partner, Sarah Clasper, who is an associate with Next, powered by Schulman Rogers, which is disrupting the way startup law is being performed with packaged offerings on a fixed price basis. Next has been selected by Law.com and Legal Week as the Startup Emerging Growth Law Firm of the Year out of several huge and very well-known law firms. So congrats about that, and welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tien, Skylar, and Avery, and the CONNECTpreneur team for today's great event. We are very honored to be a longtime sponsor and supporter of CONNECTpreneur, which is a leading global event that connects entrepreneurs, investors, and all other members of the startup ecosystem. A quick word about Next. Next, powered by Schulman Rogers, is an innovative new model for the delivery of legal services. We help a company from their launch through every stage of their growth, and we've designed our legal services to be from an entrepreneur's perspective. This means we offer predictable and reasonable legal fees by productizing them into fixed price packages. But even with the packages, we make sure our clients work directly with seasoned attorneys in different industries through our hands-on legal services model. And finally, we integrate a robust technology platform to create a client-centric experience that is collaborative, efficient, and transparent. Our first company today is AIM Medical Robotics. AIM Medical Robotics is developing a neurosurgery robot that brings high levels of precision, automation, and efficiency to neurosurgery, while at the same time helping to reduce hospital costs and to enhance patient quality of life. Please welcome Gregory Fisher, founder and CEO.
Hello, well, thank you very much. So AIM is bringing to market a unique, compact surgical robot that allows real-time MRI imaging during neurosurgery procedures. So many neurosurgery procedures require precise delivery of needle-like instruments to specific anatomical targets in the brain. So this includes neurostimulator electrodes for, let's say, Parkinson's disease, which is our beachhead market, thermal ablation and biopsies for treating brain cancers, and drug delivery for all the latest and greatest in stem cell therapy and gene therapy. The problem with these procedures today is that they're lengthy, they're very traumatic to the patients, they require specialized teams and not just surgery, but also anesthesiology and neurology. They can have inconsistent outcomes, and most importantly, they lack the ability to have intraoperative confirmation to make sure you did the procedure the way you anticipated. As a result, 34% of patients need reoperations, and then because of that, only about 15% of good eligible patients that should be doing these procedures actually opt for it for reasons that we can address. So our approach couples real-time MRI imaging during the surgery with specialized robotics that are compatible with the MRI environment so they can be used during real-time imaging. This overcomes significant problems that result due to inaccuracies and inefficiencies with the current techniques. And our approach, it guarantees that these procedures are done right with optimal targeting, despite the motion that can and does happen inside the brain during these procedures. There really is a large market for this. Just in the neuro applications that we're targeting with our initial device that we're bringing to market, the TAM is $4.3 billion just in the US. So typical procedures, whether they're done with a classical metal frame that hasn't changed in decades or the most modern surgical robots that go in the operating room, they all have the same fundamental limitation that they're localizing relative to the skull. This does not account for the motion that happens inside of the skull during a surgical procedure. So if you look at what's out there, these traditional frames and surgical robots that work in the operating room, and then there's systems that can work inside the MRI that are slow, very expensive to operate, very inconvenient, and don't have the access that you need, but they're manual devices, but they do leverage intraoperative MRI. So we're really the first company out there to have a viable solution to take advantage of the best of both worlds that provides situational awareness, very familiar workflows, direct imaging of the target anatomy during the surgery, rapid setup in any operating room or MRI scanner, minimal target to target time, which is important for drug delivery, and no patient transfers. We have 5 issued patents, 12 active patent families. We're in real discussions and preparing partnership agreements with key strategic partners. We've been speaking with potential acquirers and investors. We have an accelerated 510(k) pathway through the FDA. This is going to expect approval likely mid to late next year with product launch by the end of next year. We have a really all-star team that's moving this company forward at an accelerated pace. We have pioneers that lead the field in MRI guide interventions, medical imaging, robotic surgery, innovation in neurosurgery. A number of them had successful exits in past related ventures. So combined, we have tremendous experience in the engineering, the business, and the clinical side to make this a reality. We're on an accelerated path to market. As I said, it's going to be a 510(k) approval. We expect to have a product launch by next year. Hospitals will buy this because there's a very strong value proposition, as well as substantial support from the surgeons. We can bring in revenue from equipment sales, recurring service, and per procedure consumables. AIM's raised $6 million to date. We just completed a thorough due diligence process with the Kretsu Northwest, of which the majority of the due diligence team members have invested already. We're currently raising a $6 million Series A to get us to the key clinical milestone of human data. This unlocks our next funding round and investment from the corporate VCs. Currently, we have convertible notes open with a 20% discount and 30% warrant coverage, leading into our A round equity financing round. So I want to thank you very much. I hope to see all of you in the breakout room for AIM Medical Robotics. And if you note interest on the surveys, we will send you a link to a Q&A session that we're hosting next Tuesday at noon. Thank you very much.
All right, there's now an investor poll up for AIM Medical Robotics. If you could take a minute. Next today, we have Clothing 2.0. Clothing 2.0 is a state-of-the-art drug delivery system that incorporates medicines, vitamins, and supplements into yarn to create laundry-safe, reusable, healthy garments and textiles. Please welcome Jordan Schindler, CEO.
Thanks, Sarah. Great to meet you all, and it's good to see most of you wearing clothing. That's what we do. Our mission is all about simplifying health and wellness. It's this idea that instead of having to take a pill or use a cream or a patch, what if you could just get dressed in the morning? And our core technology enables controlled delivery of medications, vitamins, supplements through your clothing. And that's effective through numerous wash cycles. So for example, it might be a line of topical analgesics, think about icy hot or biofreeze in a knee sleeve, a back wrap. It might also be an antifungal agent in a sock for athlete's foot or ringworm. And our mission is all about simplifying patient compliance. We're all increasingly busy. We forget to take pills or creams as directed. It's hard to change consumer behavior, but we all get dressed in the morning. Clothing contacts our skin all day, every day, and that's the perfect platform for simplifying health and wellness outcomes. And that's this category that we pioneered called healthwear. What we do is, in essence, like pixels on a screen, we actually position the medicine in the yarn wherever you need it in the garment. So in the case of a sock, you might only need pain relief in the ankle or in the toes, and we can be very precise over where we put it. Everything we do is made here in the US, in North Carolina, in clean rooms. All of our products are registered with the FDA, and we're able to deliver a very precise milligram dose per hour you're wearing a garment. So all of our products, in this case capsaicin, fall under the FDA monograph for topical analgesia, and we can deliver ingredients actually through 25 wash cycles in a garment form factor, be it a sock, a t-shirt, leggings, what have you. And we've also benchmarked to a lot of other topical products. And so what we found is you actually get an ingredient that penetrates further into the dermis and epidermis using a garment than a topical product. And you think about why that is, right? In most cases, people aren't measuring out dose. They're not applying it every 3 to 4 hours as directed. It's sticky, it smells, it's gooey, it sweats off. Versus if you have this compression garment, you get a much more consistent rate of delivery over time. So we sit at the intersection of a Nike sock with icy hot, a Lululemon garment with Olay moisturizer. Everything we do is B2B. We have more than 20 million in lifetime revenue. You can buy our products today. Here's an example of one of our partner products. You can buy our products today at Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. And we cross a wide spectrum of different partner categories, from the retail to sports and apparel to post-surgical. We're about to launch a product in the post-surgical world that helps with swelling and bruising and inflammation. Oftentimes after surgery, you're required to wear this tight-fitting compression garment and apply a topical cream. So imagine an arnica built into that garment. And for us, we really are this drug delivery platform. And so we focus on areas where patient compliance is super low. So think about things like pain relief, acne, eczema, psoriasis, fungal infections, stretch marks, dry skin. All of these things can actually be treated more effectively through a clothing platform. And that's what we do. Company's raised a little over 20 million to date. We already have 5.25 committed on this safe note from our existing investors. This is actually the first time we're offering this to outside folks. It's a $750K safe note, 25% discount, first come, first serve to folks that are interested. And ultimately, we see the day where we're not going to the store and buying garments simply based on color or size or brand, but truly based on what health and wellness benefit you want from your clothing. And that's this future of clothing 2.0. So with that, I will wrap it up and happy to answer any questions in the breakout sessions, but thank you all for the time and enjoy the rest of your sessions.
All right, great. We have another investor poll up for Clothing 2.0. I'm trying to get my document up here. There we go. Thank you so much, Jordan. Next today, we have Flocksta. Flocksta is a unique social travel platform connecting like-minded people for travel adventures with AI-enabled social matching algorithms. Please welcome Dasha Kutsensko, CEO and founder.
Good morning. Welcome to Flocksta, a platform that connects people for travel. 60% of people would travel more often if they had travel companions. That is particularly true of young generations who view travel as a lifestyle. 200 million young people prioritize travel. They actually want to make new friends through travel, driving a major social travel wave today. That's an opportunity that Flocksta is addressing. We connect like-minded people with shared interests for travel adventures. The platform connects people proactively and intelligently with the new approach to social experiences and the problem of loneliness. Let's briefly look at the user experience. First, we connect people, users, into compatible groups using artificial intelligence. Users can swipe through proposed travel buddies just as they do with dating apps today. They meet, they get to know each other, and they start planning and building their unique adventures together. We use behavioral science, interactions between users' data and preference to ensure compatibility, safety, and fun. $1 trillion is being spent on travel experiences by young people between age of 20 and 40. It's a large market. We estimate a total a serviceable addressable market of $30 billion from 200 million target customers. The other solutions in the market provide either partial or ineffective solution. Today, Flocksta is the only intelligent matchmaking platform for travel. Our proprietary social matching algorithms connects people proactively and intelligently with the focus on travel materialization. That is our secret sauce. App is live. We have got 15,000 users on the platform, very enthusiastic user response. Over half of newly registered users actively engage on the platform and joining Flocks. We have validated consumer demand, and to support our revenue generation model, we have secured contracts with several travel partners. Our team has got over 100 years of technical and business experience in travel industry and consumer platforms. We are a very good fit to the opportunity that we are addressing. Our business model is based on commissions and advertising from travel partners. We estimate $40 average annual revenue from each platform from per active platform users, and we aim to scale the platform to 20 million users within the next 5 years, and that's out of the market of 200 million users that I have mentioned. That would bring our revenue to 1 billion by 2030. We are raising 1 million seed round now to complete product development, grow user community, and to demonstrate and prove business model. We have already raised 1.2 million to date from travel and industry angels, both on the safe rounds. Well, thank you, and I look forward to see you in the breakout room.
The investor poll is up for Flocksta. Thank you, Dasha. Next today we have 2020 Gene Systems. 2020 Gene Systems has created one test, an AI-powered multi-cancer blood test for broad spectrum early cancer detection. There is a market need for this kind of early detection, and thank you, Jonathan, for leading this charge, and we're looking forward to hearing more about it.
Good afternoon, Jonathan Cohen, 2020 Gene Systems, located in Gaithersburg, Maryland. We are an early market leader in a very fast-growing field called multi-cancer early detection, or MCEDs. We have now had 10 consecutive quarters of revenue growth with virtually no end in sight. MCEDs have been gaining significant attention from best-selling authors like New York Times bestseller Peter Attia, Congress, the White House, and the NIH. Our test, in contrast to those of our competitors, measures tumor proteins, not DNA, and there are several very important advantages of a protein or antigen-based test versus a DNA-based test. In short, it's the proverbial better, faster, cheaper. Better accuracy for earlier stage. We recently completed a blinded validation study with the National Cancer Institute, and our test was the third best performing MCED out of about 30. Faster because we can permit faster and easier access using small amounts of capillary blood from either the finger or upper arm, avoiding the need for painful venipuncture or needles from phlebotomists. We will be offering our test this year in giant pharmacies here in the Washington, D.C. area and soon at home. Our competitors require venipuncture from a phlebotomist. And lower priced. A little under $200 versus a little under $1,000. We are poised to dominate what will be a multi-billion-dollar market before the end of this decade, as Medicare is expected to begin reimbursing multi-cancer tests in 2028. We are seeking to raise $10 million, but for the first $3 million tranche, we're providing a very exciting and compelling incentive. Because of our fast-growing revenues, we're offering a royalty on top of equity. It is, a Mr. Wonderful-like incentive, where the investor is essentially guaranteed their investment back within about 3 years, in addition to all of the upside from the equity. We are in a very acquisitive space. We just had an inquiry this week from a major Fortune 500 company about potential acquisitions. And because we have audited public company, we have public company audits, we are IPO ready. When the markets come back for small cap IPOs, that will be an option for us. So we are seeking investors that are not, interested in the upside of biotech, but a relatively short-term time for return on investment. The end of next week, we will have a webinar. If you're interested in joining, please scan this QR code to sign up for a webinar. We will be speaking in particular about the capillary and home collection. Very exciting opportunity, as well as the data that I mentioned from NCI next Friday at noon Eastern Time. For those here in the DMV, the CONNECTpreneur team will be hosting a private luncheon for us on the 19th at 2:30 p.m. downtown. We would welcome you to join, be in touch with CONNECTpreneur if you are interested in joining. Thank you very much for your attention. I look forward to answering any questions in the breakout room.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. We have an investor poll up now for 2020 Gene Systems. And the next company we have today is General Biologics. General Biologics is a protein engineering company with a platform technology that will target proteins and help to treat moderate to severe anemia. Please welcome Jeffrey Way, CEO.
Thank you. Today I'm going to tell you about General Biologics' product to treat COPD, emphysema, and other hypoxic disorders. In the space of hypoxic disorders, COPD is the largest market, and it is, in fact, an enormous market. When you have COPD, what goes wrong is that you're really just not getting enough oxygen. And in terminal cases, you need to be hooked up to an oxygen tank with a tube that runs into your nostrils just to give you pure air, pure oxygen. The reason that people have kind of ignored, or the academic community has underinvested and underfocused on this area, is because it's due to cigarette smoking and air pollution in the third world. What goes wrong in COPD is, first of all, chronic bronchitis, where the bronchi, which are the tubes leading into the lungs, become narrowed and filled with mucus. And these can be dealt with, this problem can be dealt with at some level by inhaled drugs that are on the market. But what also goes wrong in COPD is that the alveoli, which are the little sacs at the end of the bronchi, become distended and start to break down. And there's really no way to fix this. And current therapies really are not sufficient to treat COPD and give you adequate oxygen delivery. To deal with this problem, we start with the hormone erythropoietin, which has two good qualities. It increases red blood cell production, which increases oxygen delivery, and it also protects tissues against the destructive effects of hypoxia. But on the negative side, it enhances blood clotting, and this leads to an increase in heart attacks and strokes. To fix the molecule, we used protein engineering to create a new erythropoietin-based molecule that increases red blood cell production and protects tissues, but the blood clotting side effect has been engineered out of the molecule. This is a protein drug. The market is simply enormous. Within the United States, the total COPD market is 16 million people. It is the third leading cause of death in the world, and over 500 million people suffer from COPD worldwide. The other products in this space would be synergistic with ours and not really competitive. These other products that I've alluded to include oxygen tanks that act at the level of air, inhalers that act at the level of lungs, and our product is going to act downstream at the level of blood and tissues. What we've done thus far is extensive mouse experiments to back up everything that I've said. We have 2 patent licensing deals, exclusive licenses in place that cover the platform underlying our product and also the product itself. We have an active collaboration with Air Force Research Labs, who cares about hypoxia because it happens in fighter pilots, and Big Pharma is also interested. The team that is going to take this forward has under its belt 2 IPOs, over 65 years of biotech experience, 20+ patents, and over $250 million raised. Financially, we are looking for our first $1.5 million right now, and then that would be followed by additional bigger raises to cover early stage clinical trials, such that within 5 years, we would exit at a huge step up in valuation. Right now, we have raised about $1.2 million, most of which has come from Defense Department contracts, and we have not taken any money from investors yet. And our current funding goal is $1.5 million. This would get us to the next milestone of FDA interactions. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the General Biologics breakout room.
Thank you, Jeff. There is now an investor pull up for General Biologics. The next company we have today is Hedonia USA. Hedonia is a revolutionary, all-natural, first of its kind medical food that is specifically formulated to help address the nutritional needs of people suffering from depression without the need for a prescription. Please welcome Gary Schwartz, CEO.
Thank you, Sarah. Mental illness has become painfully obvious today. Along with the reduced stigma and talking about mental illness, governments, educational institutions, and private employers have begun to invest in mental health programs. Coherent Market Insights, a global marketing research study, just released a comprehensive study indicating that about $200 billion will be spent globally just this year on mental health, and it's expected to about double by 2031. The World Health Organization estimates that there are approximately 1 billion people suffering from depression globally. That would be the equivalent of 1 in 5 or 80 million people in the United States alone. This would translate into a $7 billion market for Hedonia in the United States alone. So what we eat truly is relevant to our health, affecting all diseases, including depression. Dr. Alex Vukovich, who saw firsthand what depression can do to a family, went to Harvard Medical School and became a licensed psychiatrist and psychopharmacologist, treating patients suffering from depression for over 40 years. Through his research and others, he founded and created Hedonia, a medical food, by treating the unmet nutritional needs that affect individuals who suffer from depression, but that cannot be managed by diet alone. Now, medical foods are not supplements. They're formulated for the specific dietary management of a disease or condition, whereas dietary supplements are intended for people who enjoy good health. Medical foods have been around for a long time, since the 1950s, to treat such diseases as Crohn's and colitis. Examples that are being used today are Pedialyte and Ensure. Hedonia is a patented, first of its kind medical food that has been synergistically formulated and consists of 3 natural substances: L-methylfolate, which is a form of the vitamin folic acid; S-adenosylmethionine, or SAMe, is an amino acid found in all our bodies; and EPA, a highly purified form of omega-3 fish oil. These substances combine to boost serotonin levels, increase dopamine receptor site binding, and correct low levels of chronic neuroinflammation. Hedonia is taken in conjunction with antidepressants, does not require a prescription, nor have any side effects. We're often asked by people, well, can't we just buy these products on the market? Well, the answer is you could. However, you wouldn't have the right formulation, nor the quality of the products, nor the timing and release for optimization. Because of our patents, we are the only company who can produce this conjugated product for many years. Our precise dosage level that is patented here in our dual capsule, pictured here, is created by first releasing the omega-3 and then 20 minutes later the powders in the stomach, optimizing for maximum absorption. There's a picture of Dr. Vukovich, a video that is currently on our website. We invite you to go and look at hedonia.com. We're truly fortunate to have a highly scientific board of advisors who are all experts in their fields, leading scholars, researchers, and practitioners who ensure the integrity and rigor in the production of Hedonia. We have raised $3.4 million to date in seed and Series A funding and are currently looking for $10 million that will be used mostly for marketing, media, and manufacturing. And we're extremely pleased to announce that we opened up our website and are now selling Hedonia on our website direct to consumers. Here is our package that just came off the line of product. Given the prevalence of Hedonia, given the prevalence of depression, Hedonia makes an excellent investment opportunity to not only earn a handsome return on your investment, but also you'll be helping the tens of millions of people who suffer from depression. Thank you, and we look forward to answering your questions in the breakout session.
Thank you, Gary. There's now an investor poll up for Hedonia. The next company today is Prefix. Prefix is a tech-enabled service that eliminates the hassles of homeownership by creating a data-driven operating system for upkeep and maintenance of the home. Please welcome James Bilodeau, founder and CEO.
Thanks, Sarah. To put it simply, Prefix eliminates the hassle of home maintenance, saves our homeowners between 30 and 50% off home maintenance costs. It
Hey,
creates a
James,
data.
just so you know, we can't see your slides.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Just want to make sure we're good too far.
Thanks. I didn't actually click all the way through. How are we now?
There you go. Okay, go for it.
Thank you. The average homeowner spends $3,000 and 30 hours a day on what's fundamentally a broken process of unreturned calls, service windows, exploitive pricing, and general confusion on what ongoing maintenance is needed. With Prefix, you get your own dedicated home manager. If anything breaks, you just call, text, or email. Your home manager, we usually hire primarily military veterans with impeccable records and a strong work ethic. They take care of it, usually for just a small copay. Your home manager also comes to your home and performs a 30-point preventive maintenance twice a year. And by 30 points, I mean clean your AC condenser and condensate line, change your air and water filters, flush the sediment out of your water heater, and I'll stop there as we only have 4.5 minutes. For the minority of things that your home manager can't do, you get one of our vetted contractors that we manage all the way through to completion at low negotiated rates. We've created a completely new model of home care by focusing on 3 main pillars. First, what I call our human code, or the repeatable processes around hiring, training, and motivating our full-time employees. We've gotten really good at this and directly take advantage of the ongoing shortage of skilled tradespeople afflicting most incumbents in this space. Second, it's the way in which we create operational density. This provides a major competitive advantage over any incumbent. We now have over a third of the total homes in some neighborhoods across the metro areas we serve. Third, it's our technology platform. It goes hand in glove with our unique operating model. Our proprietary IT platform, it's not just a good-looking mobile app with AI somehow appended in the branding, even though we do use AI. It's a comprehensive platform methodically built with all of our stakeholders in mind. As we've ramped to over 6 million in annualized revenue, we've not sacrificed customer experience in the least, with an NPS currently at 88 and revenue retention of 89% since 2021. Home maintenance isn't the extent of our business model any more than books was that of Amazon's. So by doing the work of solving the broken home maintenance process, we've created trusted, sticky relationships with homeowners and earned the right to offer other higher margin services to consumers and industry partners. Over the last 3 years, we've almost doubled our average revenue per user by introducing a number of other specialty services. And in so doing, we've increased our margins from 36% to 46%. Revenue and margins will continue to increase as we offer other higher margin services like solar and power storage that have been constrained by friction at the last mile. Core home maintenance market alone is worth $20 billion in the US. These adjacent markets into which we're expanding represent even larger opportunities. The same data helps us serve our individual customers so well, highly valuable in aggregate to both consumers and industry partners. Companies like Consumer Reports, JD Power, they make hundreds of millions of dollars from initial quality assessments, and our data is better. And as the hype dies down, there's a realization it's the data on which an AI model is based that becomes an important differentiator. We are unique in the proprietary data that we have. Perhaps more importantly, the trusted proprietary relationships and data we have in our members enables us to expand with the strength of some of the most well-respected companies in the country behind us. Last month, we publicly announced a fully co-branded commercial partnership with USAA, who's contracted to get us initially 30,000 homes at zero acquisition cost. We're now launching more broadly in Texas, Colorado, then other states later this year. This is the first time they've ever partnered with a startup in this way. They did this after validating the quality and utility of our service through a 5,000 person pilot that they fully prepaid. So most of the growth I'm showing you on this chart, it's already contracted. And that's just one partnership. We're under NDA and in discussions with 4 other major insurers. I've worked with the leadership of hundreds of companies as a management consultant at the World Economic Forum and product lead at a payment startup. Our VP of Ops led North American operations for Car2Go. And our VP of product was CEO of a leading Hong Kong-based front-end dev agency, working with a number of other multinationals and startups. Right now, we're closing out the remainder of a 1.5 million safe, mostly subscribed with insiders, at a cap, which we believe compares favorably to our existing and contracted revenue. This enables us to execute our ramp with USAA to the 10 million annualized revenue mark. We've already started diligence and working to close with late-stage growth investors. We're told we can expect a 5 to 10x multiple on revenue, so a healthy markup from investment in this current safe. Thank you.
Thank you, James. You should now see an investor poll or prefix. Our next company today is Videc Pharma, which is an Israel-based clinical stage biopharmaceutical company developing first-in-class oncologic therapies. Please welcome Max Herzberg, founder and CEO.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. And when we are speaking about cancer and treatment of cancer, we know that one of the big problems is the suffering from side effects. The other problem is that the new treatments, immunotreatment, are meeting an hostile environment. So let's go back to the basic. What is the difference between a normal cell and a cancer cell? Well, we all know about it, because when you go and you make a PET scan, what is happening is that you are being given radioactive glucose, and the scanning is just looking where it concentrates. Where it concentrates, these are cancer cells. So what is happening? What is the difference really between these cells? So 100 years ago, it was already discovered by Warburg. It's called the Warburg effect. So what is happening is that in normal cell, this mitochondria, this small organelle inside the cell, has a pore. From this pore, the energy is going out, but not only the energy, but also the signal for programmed cell death, because a cell should not reproduce more than a few times. What is happening in cancer? Well, the cell is being asked to reproduce and to divide and divide and divide again. For this, it needs a lot of energy. And there is a new enzyme which is coming in the game. And this enzyme is very big. It's a big protein. And it blocks this pore. When it blocks it, it blocks also the signal for programmed death. So cells are dividing and dividing and dividing. But not only that, is that because it is doing its job as a glycolysis, using the sugar, there is an environment which is very acid, which is created around the tumor. And then the immunological system doesn't work well in this environment. So it's tens of years that people are looking, oh, are we going to stop this enzyme? Well, it doesn't succeed, because the active site of this enzyme is the same as any one of the glycolytic enzyme. We say we came with a completely different idea. We say, let us protect the active site, and let us just displace this big enzyme from the pore, creating new molecules using both normal and artificial intelligence, just to make a little bit of change here, so that it cannot block the pore like a cork will block a bottle. And bingo, this was it. And then we got a few molecules extremely active against cancer. And not only are they very active against cancer, but because they stop this hyperglycolysis, they also stop the microenvironment which is hostile to immunotherapy. So our products are complementary to any one of these new treatments which exist. And bingo again, because this is a pan-cancer system. You see, all cancer cells have this problem of this big enzyme blocking the mitochondria. And each point here under the green light are primary tumors which are sensitive to our product. And these are all kinds of cancer. So, and we are in clinical stage. We are already after a phase 2, and look at the market that we are looking at. In the oncodermatology, we have about a $7 billion market already. And if we go for our new product, which is going for solid tumor, it's huge. It's hundreds of billions of dollars. So this is where we are. And all right. So just to give you an idea of the acquisition which took place in the last 3 to 4 months, they are all in the $1 billion area. And we cannot do that without a team, of course. And our team have been working together, not in this venture, but also on other ventures. And we have 150 years of experience, of which I contribute a little bit more than the others. And so our ask is a $5 million bridge in order to advance to 2 inflection points. First in human with our new molecule for solid tumors, and end of phase 2 for our oncodermatology molecules. And we have 7 patent families which are granted, and composition of matter, chemical synthesis, and so on, up to 2045. So that's it. Thank you very much. I will be very glad to explain more in the breakout room when the session is finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Max. And there should have been an investor poll that came up about a minute ago. Put me up. The next company today is Myoptics. Myoptics has created a unique and patent-pending faceted optical system, which is designed to help reduce, among other things, to help reduce myopia progression better than the current technology. Please welcome Paul Grimm, CEO.
Thank you, Sarah, and my thanks to the CONNECTpreneur team for putting on this event. Super helpful, obviously, for all of us startups. Very pleased to tell you about likely the most prevalent disease you're going to hear about today, and maybe even all year, myopia, and how Myoptics is using breakthrough optical innovation to shape the focus of myopia control. This slide reminds us we're talking about an early stage medical device company. That being said, our hopes and dreams have quickly become a reality since licensing filed IP just 18 months ago. Why is it the most prevalent disease you're going to hear about all year? Half of the world will be myopic by 2050. It's more commonly known as nearsightedness. That's a doubling of the prevalence from where we're at today. Already parts of Eastern developed Asia, 70% myopic. Thoughts are changing about myopia and how to treat it, because as the vision worsens, the eye is getting excessively long. That puts strain on the back of the eye and causes the increased risk for sight-threatening complications later in life. So what's changing? No longer are simple single vision glasses or contact lenses meaningful anymore to slowing progression. Myopia is being treated like a disease, like any other disease in which you want to slow or stop its progression. Myoptics is developing novel soft contact lenses and glasses to do just that. We've had a very busy first 18 months finalizing all the IP and priority markets, getting prototype developed of our soft contact lenses, and now on our 3rd clinical study. And very grateful to let you know today that in this very challenging market, we're 80% committed of a $2.5 million fundraise and only 500,000 left to go. This is the chart that would scare anybody that's myopic. Taking a look. First column on the left here, level of myopia, mild, moderate to severe. Some pretty scary eye conditions. As the eye gets longer and myopia worsens, look at the increased risk for glaucoma, retinal detachments, macular age-related degeneration. Big problems, which makes complete sense to keep as many people out of the moderate and severe buckets as possible. The good news is the science has changed. And a new category of myopia control optical correction is clinically proven to slow or stop the progression of myopia by generating a special optical signal called myopic defocus while still maintaining crystal clear distance vision. The challenge is you have to target kids when they're young as their eyes are developing. It's an early stage market, but already valued at $2 billion, projected to be a $15 billion market in the not so distant future. MyOptex has a completely different novel design to our contact lens designed to maximize that optical signal. This area here in the middle helps the eye see better at a distance, and our faceted optical system is what maximizes the optical signal versus what's already on the market. What you see here is a retinal imaging simulation of the only FDA-approved soft contact lens for myopia control on the right, and you see better optics, more blue dots, denser blue dots, which is a sign of the optical signal to slow myopia progression. As I mentioned, we've confirmed the IP for the technology. We've designed prototypes, manufactured a lot. Our first 2 clinical studies went remarkably well. We're on our 3rd, as I mentioned. We formed an incredible medical advisory board. Very grateful to be 80% committed to the $2.5 million round. Our first lead is a Fortune 500 life sciences company. I can tell you more under NDA, and the traditional investment through Rev1 Ventures and its Catalyst Fund 3. This funds completion of our early clinical development plan for soft contact lenses and begin initial prototype work on our novel glasses. So if you're passionate about life sciences innovation and compelled at the thought of helping children's vision now and in the future, I'd love to tell you more in the breakout room. Thanks so much for the opportunity, and all the best.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul. So we have our last investor pull up now for MyOptex. So if you are an active investor, please feel free to answer that. So at this time, we are going to shortly move into breakout rooms. Once this poll is done for MyOptex, we are going to be putting up another poll, which is for our sponsors. If you have previously answered the sponsored poll in the beginning of this meeting, please do not answer it again. You can just exit out of it. But if you came in late and would like any of the services for our sponsors, please feel free to answer those. So now I'm going to put up that second sponsor poll. So you'll see that one. If, like I mentioned, if you're interested in any of these services, please feel free to indicate that here. Now we would like to open up the breakout rooms for our companies. Please be reminded that these are for our presenting companies, and the purpose is for direct investors to get to talk to these companies and go deeper about their company. So please be respectful. In these breakout rooms, they will last about 30 to 45 minutes or so, and you'll see a warning from me when they have 5 minutes until they close. So with that, feel free to leave and enter the breakout rooms. The button should be open on the bottom of your screen right now. That should say breakout rooms, and you can click which one you would like to join. And if you have any questions or trouble getting into the breakout room, please put it in the chat and I will help you get into the breakout room which you would like to be in. So thank you everyone for joining, and we will talk to you in about 30 to 45 minutes.